Hi there, I'm Kareena Kapoor Khan. You are listening to the most unapologetic show, Dabur Amla, What Women Want. आज हम बात कर रहे हैं about the importance of staying relevant. मेरी sister Karisma is a prime example of a woman जो हमेशा relevant रही है, from the time she debuted to when she took a break to when she resumed working. So, to talk more about how she's managed to do this so beautifully and share her Dabur Amla story of strength, please welcome Karisma Kapoor.
Yes, hello.
Well, actually, this is going to be the best episode.
Oh.
I always say to all my guests, but I officially announce that this is going to be the best episode. Lolo, tell us what is the recipe of staying relevant?
Well, according to me, I think there is no recipe. I'd like to just share that for me, it's about moving with the times. You know, today, with each decade, I feel, after spending 27 years in the industry,
Absolutely.
that, the secret for me, my formula, as you would say, is just moving with the time.
Yeah, absolutely. तुम हमेशा इतनी amazingly radiant कैसे लगती हो? But I mean, for me to even say it and ask my own sister this question,
Yes,
but I want you to
may
tell
seem a bit odd.
Yeah, but I want you to tell our listeners.
I think पहले तो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगी कि we are blessed with great genes.
I think it's because of our mother.
Our mother. Uske aage, I think your inner positivity. It could be maybe my inner positivity that reflects on my face.
So I think, Lolo, you are very, very active. I mean, I know that you're obviously very active on social media, but do you think it's helping you in staying relevant?
Like I said that, it's not only about being relevant, but in a certain way, growing and being myself. I think it's given me a chance to, be connected with my fans, to have a lot of younger fans.
A lot of exposure.
A lot of exposure.
And like you said, a very relevant point, जो आपने अभी कहा, is to stay in touch and get a lot of younger fans. So you think
that like something like an Instagram, the fan base, when I check, when you check, is like between 18 to 25.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing, for someone like me to have such young fans.
Everybody gets trolled on social media, including people like me who are not on it. But तुम्हें किस चीज़ के बारे में troll किया गया है, which you would like to share with us?
Honestly, about you.
About me?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's really funny. It is like, आप अपने बहन को कहो इतना pout मत करे.
My pout is more like hashtag pout.
Yes. Oh, we love Kareena's pout. We love her pout.
God.
So, it's a mixed bag and it's really funny. Or then maybe like if I've not posted a picture in a long time with you or the family, like there's so many of your fans who are like, please ma'am, can you put a picture? So I think it's a wonderful relationship also.
Yeah, you have always been my role model. But I think my listeners want to know that who your role model has been.
Well, I think today, Kareena is my inspiration, We've grown up being so close to each other and we inspire each other. I think,
I think it's great for two siblings to,
to be so
in
close,
the same profession.
Be in the same profession, be successful and, have so much in common, I think we give each other advice and learn and strength and learn from each other. So I think my mom, our mother, is my inspiration. I think my grandmothers have been an inspiration, be it, beauty, poise, and, being single-handedly having that strength to be focused in bringing up their children so well.
Talking about our grandmother, talking about both our grandmothers, I think Dadi ji, our grandmom, father's mother who just passed away recently, I think she was also somebody who kept up with the times and was extremely relevant at the age of 90 plus? 88. But she kept up with the times. She was so relevant with everything.
With life, with lifestyle, being such a great hostess, really kept up with the times.
Everyone was always talking about that. Her poise, her elegance, her taste kept changing with each generation.
I think mom also, I think the way she brought us up, she has kept up with the times. I think today she's so liberal.
Yeah,
she's more like a friend.
Always
even
stayed relevant.
To like my teenage daughter, like to Samaira, So she is very open.
So changing with the times is also
very important.
Important
to be relevant.
Absolutely.
And that's the case with me.
What do you have to say, Lolo, about the comeback pressure? This word of like, when female actors get married, have babies.
Well, I think it's really, frankly, I think it's very unfair. because there is a lot of pressure on that woman, on that person. And tell me honestly, when anyone in an office takes, leave and goes on maternity leave and comes back after 2 months, are they making a comeback in the office? Is it like, oh, Priya is, making a comeback. Let's see how she's going to do.
Exactly.
I think for us as actors and people in the film industry, it is a lot of pressure, and I feel in a way an unfair pressure.
Yeah.
We are like any woman out there who's, going on baby leave and come back.
If I may say, I think it's also because, we are in a visual medium. It's always about the comeback. How is she going to look after her delivery?
But I think it's really unfair at the same time.
It is, it's
because
terrible.
They're not saying, they're making a comeback. A lawyer is making a comeback in the court. Let's see how she's going to perform.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the added pressure, yes, of course, because we're from the entertainment industry.
Hopefully that is going to change with,
I think
so many
things
of us
are changing in the industry.
So many actresses now getting married.
You're
and
the
coming
biggest
back.
example that, after being a mom and everything, I would say you're even more successful than you were before. So the game is changing. People are so much more open-minded.
Absolutely.
Someone like for me who doesn't even act in movies, but I'm super busy. I do events, I do endorsements.
Yes,
I go for, promoting something that I believe in.
Yeah.
So it's
and
a
that's
really,
what our topic is about, doing things and staying relevant.
Things and staying relevant. So in a different way, I'm relevant.
Lolo, when young girls at the age of 20 are making statements like, God, I'm getting old. And,
that's shocking.
Yeah.
That's just shocking.
It's just shocking. So do you think there's a lot of pressure on young women in India right now?
I think it's globally, because there's so much exposure
and especially
everywhere.
in the way they look.
Because of social media, because of Instagram, everyone's checking their pictures, everyone wants to look good. There's so much awareness out there.
Everybody's worried about getting old. Why? At 20, I think I was really I was flying, remember? I was enjoying my 20s.
And I want to tell all these women out there that, if I may say so, if you see, especially me in my 20s, I feel I look much better or better groomed today than I looked in my 20s.
Absolutely.
So please don't feel like that.
Absolutely. As women, I think काफी doubt करते हैं खुद को. Women are always, of course, probably, because of the pressures or whatever, but especially after a certain age, women are always, like how am I looking, how am I feeling,
But like I said, don't feel like that. We should all learn to age gracefully.
Absolutely.
And that is something that maybe I must say on this show is my mantra. Just age gracefully, because people will love you anyways. Yeah, like wine.
Absolutely. I think the older the vintage, the better.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so this constant pressure of, being young, staying young.
It should not be there, frankly.
Yeah. So Lolo, obviously, आपने फिल्मों से काफी break लिया है. But now that, you're doing your events and you do your endorsements, do you see any difference in the way people have treated you then to now? Is there any sort of like a dramatic change or something in the way people look at you?
No, not at all. I think that that love and that warmth has always remained. So I think that's really wonderful. In fact, wherever I go, people ask me, why aren't you doing films anymore? Why aren't you doing films anymore? But honestly, it's, as you know, it's been out of choice.
Yeah.
And people don't treat me differently. I feel people show much more love. And even if I'm at a restaurant, people will come up to me and be like, ma'am, we want to see you back in movies. So it's a wonderful feeling, actually.
Yeah.
But this has been a choice that I have made, not to be actively doing movies anymore, as you know.
Now that you and me both are mothers, और लोगों का perception है that, motherhood के बाद it's even more difficult to stay relevant. Do you think that? Do you feel that?
No, I don't think motherhood should define us as women, because we're learning every day, we're growing every day.
You're also staying and learning and being relevant through the kids, because they're the young generation.
They are the young generation. My kids tell me, what music they're into, and I keep up with trends in fashion through my daughter, and actually music through my son.
Yeah,
I've become an avid football fan because of my children. They both love football. So I know the football players' names, the teams, and so yeah.
The kids are also helping you,
yes,
keep
relevant.
with the times, be relevant, know what's,
Absolutely.
all the lingo that they're on all the social media. I'm quite sure of that. So thank you so much. I think it was a fun episode. And like I said, honestly, it has been my best. So thank you so much for coming
Thank you, my
on my
baby.
first